Hello and welcome to Life is Feudal, Forest Village. We're into a new spring, a new year, and yeah, we've got people going around setting fires to the place, which isn't good. It's actually quite amusing, really, because we've got this big embankment here built, and when the raiders actually land here, the ship actually comes up and stops around about here, and yet somehow the raiders. You know, it's a miracle how they do it, but they somehow manage to land right on top of the embankment. So that's what they're doing, is they're slowly making their way off the embankment there, because I deliberately built a ramp over here, because my concern was always that they would stay up there, constantly lobbing torches over and setting fire to the place, and I wouldn't be able to get to them. So yeah, we've got ourselves a little ramp over here to make sure that either we can get to them or they'll get some encouragement to come back down. There's 3 of them there. Sometimes there's 3, sometimes there's 4. Is anybody putting that out? Nope, nobody seems in the slightest bit interested at the moment in putting out the fires. Come on everybody, you know, up to it. Right. It looks like people are starting to get interested, but I mean, I've actually been up this ramp. I'm actually going to wait until they get a bit further, to be honest, and start coming back down, because the trouble is yeah, you end up, just because of the camera angles, it all ends up a bit too weird for me. Right, so I think we'll just grab this dude here, and he can get rid of them. There's one. So I think it was 3 of them. I'm surprised it's not that very often where they actually do set fire to things back there. Where's the 3rd one? Guess I'll get rid of that bear while we're on. There's definitely 3 of them. Oh, there he is. Okay, well, who was that? It was Grey, right? And Grey, you can go back to dealing with the flax. Oh, there's a 4th one over there. Sneaky little devil. I mean, I can grab Grey here. It's just it sometimes ends up a bit weird. Sometimes I can't really see anything I'm doing because the camera ends up going literally through the floor. Right, that's rid of you. And there's your boat going sailing off without you. Good riddance. Right, so where are we at? Well, as I was saying, it's the spring of a new year, and I've literally let the game play out for a year because I wanted to test out the changes I've been making. I mean, we've been buying a lot of hide to try and just keep up with the demand of the actual tailors, and so far so good. The wool's been dipping a bit. Pretty much as soon as we started this year, the tailors just ran out of wool, and so I thought, right, well, I'm going to have to build another pasture. So I did build one, and as you can see, I've literally halted it just because we've got quite a bit of a surplus now. They were up to, it was hovering around about 60, 90 at a time, and now it's gone back up again. So at this stage, I think we've actually got enough sheep. I don't really think we need any more to satisfy those 4 tailors. So I'm just going to leave that ticking over. Keep that in my back pocket just in case. Now over here, I did make some tweaks to the caravan routes. I mean, we've got plenty of fruit, plenty of milk. So I think what I'm going to do straight up is we're going to build 2 bakeries. We'll get them to build these, and we'll turn these into fruit bakeries. They'll make our fruit pies. If memory serves, they need the fruit, but they also need the milk. If you want to make that, yeah, they need the fruit and the milk. Flour, so far so good. Did they ever haul that out? Yes, they did. Oh, good on you. You did. You actually hauled all that flour out. Do you still have the root in? Right, we can take that root out. We don't need it then. So that's good. We've got quite a bit of it. I've still got a lot of the flour stuck down here. Not the flour, rather, grain. Still a lot of grain stuck here, but that That needs us to get our caravan stable up and running. Speaking of which, we'll do that now because I've taken away the actual donkey farm that was here. So we'll plonk that one down there. Is that lining up? Yep, we'll get them to build that there. So they can stay busy doing that. I mean, quite a lot of the walls have been now built actually. And there's only just a bit to do. I mean, practically everybody, there's anybody, has been just thrown into the building profession. I mean, I'm waiting for quite a few kids to grow up, become adults. Did lose quite a few to like hypothermia while they were busy, you know, carrying things over here and helping out with the building site. So that's my bad really. But yeah, we're almost finished over there, and then we can start getting the focus on the walls over here. Because I mean, I'm still having to put up with like you know, sheep getting killed by wolves, chickens getting killed by well, wolves or foxes. And actually, speaking of the chickens, we're actually doing okay for the eggs, I think. I mean, there's not like tons and tons popped up, but I'll leave that there for now. I mean, it's tempting to reduce that one from like a size 3 to something similar. We'll just see how many chicken eggs we do end up with over the course of the year. And I might end up reducing this field or putting it on pause because we're bringing quite a lot of vegetables in at the moment just here anyway. I mean, we've got we've got like nearly 3,000 vegetables just because of that field there. So yeah, it might be tempting to just pause that off, to be honest, but I'll leave it there for now because I've got other things to juggle. So seem to be okay with flour, grain. Now the other thing that we need to do is we really need to get this caravan business sorted out, because we're not getting enough of the fish out of this area into this area, and that's just because they're just too busy. So the plan was we're gonna extend this area. We're gonna put more fish farms in. We're actually running out of fish. We get towards roughly around about the end of the year. You know, when you get into like the fall, late winter, or whatever it is, when we start putting people into the fish farms. You know, as soon as we get below 0, and yeah, we just kind of get through the year, I think. I mean, it'll get a lot better, I'd imagine. I mean, once we're starting, you know, producing all these pies. I mean, to be honest, we're not making that many pies, to be honest. But once we start getting people pushed onto more, you know, pie production, getting them to eat more pies. The idea is they should start to then cut back on these basic resources, including the fish. But I've got to get over that hurdle first. So the strategy is we're going to extend this area out. So that needs some more terraforming. Now that's a thought. How wide do we need this? That's about 15. So I need a fair amount of terraforming doing over here first. So I'll get them to drag that out to about, say, there, roughly. And I can always fill in the gaps once they've done that bit. That's centered over there. So chances are they might actually go off and focus on that before they finish these walls. But I mean, I've been buying quite a lot of hide, a lot of stone through the market, so I'm probably going to have to wait for them to start resupplying the market, because I know things like the hostel, building a hostel and building these barns is going to take a lot of stone. So I'm just going to get on with this bit of work. We'll see as and when they get round to that. They probably might just focus on the actual walls anyway. I mean, I've got like tons and tons of labourers now piled into the building profession at the moment. So hopefully they won't take too long. But once ready to make some progress, I'll bring you back. Well, we're into the summer now, and everybody's practically jumped ship really to sort of like help out getting these roads built, because we've done all the terraforming down here, put our foundations in place for things like the barn and the hostel. And yeah, they're all pretty much just focused on getting these stone roads in, because that's what they do. They do prioritise roads above other things. I mean, I don't have enough people really to cover every building job going on at the minute. But won't be too long before they actually get these walls here finished. Then I can start turning their attention to up here. But I'm really just going to have to leave them to it and get them leave them to finish doing the roads, because you can't like pause off a road or anything. I can pause off a building, I can prioritize a building, but you can't stop them building the roads. You can delete the roads. It just means I have to go back and do it all over again. But I mean, I think we've got a reasonable amount of time before we hit the cold weather, so I think they should get it finished. We've got a reasonable amount of stones still left lying around, so I think we'll be okay. Now, up here, they've almost actually managed to finish off one of the bakeries, so that's that one there. Not doing so well with that one. They've got all the resources, but it needs people to actually build it. So that's going to probably get held up because of the fact they're just so busy with these roads. But at least they did manage to finish the actual caravan stable over here. So I've been transferring most of the routes off this one. So that's that caravan stable, there's that one there. All they're doing is they're just dedicated to market stuff. So they'll transport stone out of markets as well as any hides, because that's what I'm buying now. We're trading that for meat, so I've actually taken that meat run off this one. They're no longer doing the meat run. That's now getting done by these caravanners here. So because I don't need so many caravanners, I've just reduced that down to one. Pretty much everything else that I could put in, I've just transferred over to these ones, because that's what they are. They're dedicated to transferring goods between the actual areas. The trouble is there's still too many routes. I mean, I've managed to sort of balance the routes so that caravan there is that one there, that one's that one. I've managed to sort of balance theirs out, so they're both doing 6 routes, but there's still some things that, like, I think it's stones, one of them. Yeah, so they're still doing a bit of transfers out, because I'm literally limited to only 8 routes that caravan stable can do. So hopefully we've improved the transfers between the areas now. But the main thing is if there's anything I need to buy from the market, or if there's something I suddenly decide I want to sell to the market, I don't have this problem of having not enough routes now. I've got a spare capacity of 5. And it means I can just add an extra route in without having to take any existing routes out. So that should make things easier. Just wondering how we're doing for food up here. Plenty of food, plenty of oats. Ooh, speaking of oats, how are we doing for oats? 4,000. So far I might... Well, so that means there's another 4,000 oats out there somewhere. It's not there. Some of it's there. Yeah, we already know some of it's there. Some of it will be in the little barns where the, you know, we're next to where the taverns are. Yeah, ooh, wow, that's a lot of oats. I think we may as well pause that one off. There's no point having that one. That's way too many oats. Actually, that's a thought. Yeah, that's odd that. I mean, how many... So you've got a bit of grain. No. I mean, what I could have done is I could have, like, transferred some of the oats from there down to there, I suppose. That's one option, and I can transfer oats across to here. I mean, how many have you got? Yeah, see, you're not doing so well for oats. It's doing fine for grain, just not so much for the oats, which is odd. But I'll leave those to it. Just means we've now got one less farmer, and I'll just have to keep an eye on that barn there. But yeah, I think the main focus really is just on here. It's just going to take time. So once we've made some progress, I'll bring you back. Well, it's spring again. We're making some pretty good progress down here. We've managed to get all of these fish farms down here. And straight away my OCD has got me. There it is. There's a gap there. I don't like that gap. I'm surprised I haven't started like complaining about these things yet, to be honest. But you know, we definitely can't have that. As ever, everybody's busy building the roads, so I'm just going to leave them to that. but then we can get them to start building these, and wow, the amount of wood we went through. I ended up buying like 1,000 logs over the market. That thing, for an upgrade, it needed 980 logs. Absolutely crazy. So yeah, at least it's done now. But I didn't use any of these over the winter because we're still getting built. We weren't ready with a hostel. I didn't want anybody living too far away. But it means that when we get to the next winter, we'll start to be able to use these. So it shouldn't take me too long to get these fish farms up and running. Now, all the walls here are built. We've managed to get our fruit barns? I keep calling them barns for some reason. Managed to get our fruit bakeries built. They're doing okay. I mean, I haven't seen anybody complaining of shortages around here. I did start to get a bit nervous over in this area because of the tailors. The tailors were starting to run out of hide, and it's costing me 630 hide for 630 meat for 300 hide. I mean, that's pretty expensive, that. So I've definitely got to find a solution to this hide problem. But we haven't actually run out at any point, which is good. So I think we're okay with this amount of wool. I mean, we've got a bit of a surplus. I think it's going to be one of those things where I think what I might end up doing is building a market down here. Then when we do get those slight increases, I mean, 285 wool's like nowhere near what we had for Village 1, which is in the thousands. I used to have like 3,000 wool at any time, just sitting around doing nothing. Yeah, I'm pretty tempted to build a market over here, so that any surpluses of things like that, you know, small surpluses like that, I can just sell off. The flax is just doing crazy. So I think because I'm pretty comfortable with the wool and the hide. Well, yeah, I mean we haven't actually got enough hide, but at least I know we're not going to run out of hide as such. I think what we're going to do is we're going to cut this field down. Now this is a size 3 field, so I think we went down from 4s to 3s. So I'm gonna, which doesn't make sense going, because if I go down to 2 2s, that was just as big as 1 4. So I'm starting to get a bit confused now. But we've got like way too much hide. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that field. Yeah, we'll take that field out. Now there's nothing in it to remove as such. I'll reduce the number of farmers. I'll wait for that to get deconstructed, and then I'm going to build a 2. So maybe we need a size 5 field as opposed to a size 4. We'll just have to see, because we've just got tons and tons of flax, way more than we need. Whereas like if you compare like the sheep pastures, we're kind of just getting by with a small increase in wool, whereas that, it's just, I mean, that's just crazy. That now chickens, yeah, I can see we're getting too many chickens, so now that's a bit more tricky. So the plan is we're going to build another coop. I'm just going to see how big's this one. It's this was a 2, I think, so that's 18 by 22. So we'll repeat that. Now that is 18 by 18. Right, so we're going to go with an 18 by 18. We'll get them to build that. Just dedicate the builders to it. And the idea is, what we'll do is we'll transfer all of the chickens out of here to here. Any that are left we'll just cull. Then we'll build the same size over there and then transfer them back. It's, this is assuming, of course, we end up with keeping pace with the actual bakers in terms of producing enough chickens, because that's a size 2, that's a size 3, and at the moment, having 5 herdsmen overall looking after, well, that's what, 135 chickens. It's just way too much. Now flour, yeah, we're right on the limit for flour. Doing okay for grain. I'm not too fussed for grain, so We are going to have to build a... Oh, no, 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 no. That's not good. It's not going to fit. Oh, no. My walls are not going to fit. Oh, this sucks. Oh, that is just cruel. I wonder if I could... Can I put it... If I could see there, I might be able to squeeze one down there. The only thing I'm mindful of is we don't have enough... I don't think we've got much room. I'll have to probably put in some room for people to live there to actually work in the mills. Ooh, good call. Good call. Yeah, we can just about squeeze that one in, it seems. Yeah, there we go. It's amazing what you can find. Right, so that should give us 3 mills. I mean, I wouldn't be in the least bit surprised if I'm going to have to build another grain field here, or a wheat field rather. Now, because I'm a bit concerned of, I mean, we've got people living up here. Or is that a tavern? That's a tavern. That's for the people living in the centre. That's for the people living here and up here. There's not, you know. Oh, hang on. We've got two houses here. Okay. Well, we should be fine. I mean, there's what, 2 in each bakery. So that's. Well, we'll see how it goes. Because I mean, I've just paused that. Well, I'm going to pause this field as well. To be honest, because we've got way too much vegetables up here. But I'm obviously going to have to size things out. I mean, at some point I'll probably end up building a house up here, but at the moment I'm juggling chicken coops. So until I work out those, it's probably best just to make do with those 3 houses there. Giggles, we'll just crank that up to 2, and by an extra 2 I should say. I mean, it's not going to kill me. I mean, we've got I'm certainly not seeing any warnings on like running out of food, so that's okay. Now down here, I actually figured out why we were running out of oats. This kitchen here was actually making oat porridge, which consumes quite a bit of oats, so I've now switched them over to meat stew. I don't know why, but I've got this. I'm thinking of meat stew, and for some strange reason, I can't help feeling they're just like, you know, sticking rats into a boiling, you know, pot along with these like herbs. It doesn't sound good at all. Right, are we producing enough herb? Yeah, we've got tons of herbs down there, so they're producing meat stew. Ew. Now I've got these ones. Actually, they're making fish soup because. It makes sense because there's like a fish, you know, some good supply of fish just around the corner for them. Because I took their oats away and switched them over to fish soup quite a while back. Now, let's think. So, yeah. So the only real concern up here is a lack of flour. Now these are rattling through pies. I'm not seeing much in the way of pies. So I'm gonna have to come up with a way to seriously scale up this, because the whole idea is basically we start off with at this stage where you're just doing the basic resources. You're just producing, you know, fruit, vegetables, and so on. But you look at the amount of calories that these people get. I mean, don't forget these people they're on like, I think it's like 3 times the calorific rate of normal villagers because of the way I tweak things with a mod setting. It means they consume a lot of calories in one go, and they last longer. But either way, villagers would prefer to have, you know, the higher calorie diet. So it means that they would prefer things like, you know, meat pies, for instance, 41 calories, vegetable pies, 56 calories. I don't know how I'm going to kind of keep up with the demand for vegetable pies, because I know when I was doing chickens down here, like even a size 6 oat field just for like the chickens that were living in a coop of that size, that they really struggled So if you've got to scale it up in terms like vegetable pies, that's going to be interesting to work out how many chickens I'm going to need. Vegetables I'm not concerned about. Chickens, yeah, that could be interesting. But once we start getting these fish moved up, that'll be interesting. Now I don't think fish is as good if memory serves. See, fish is only 25. You compare 25 to 56? That's a big difference. Now fruit pie is interesting enough. They're 59. We're not going to be bothering with honey pies or bread. I mean, I could do. That's a thought. Is anybody giving me clues as to what they want? Because there's nobody down here going to be. Ah, there you go. See, well, look, it's based on the angle, but you can see it looks like they want vegetable pies, and they want that. They look like fish pies. Interesting. So, where do we go next then? Right. Well, yes, I need to do some tidying up down here for the terraforming. We need to get some more fish farms built down here, but I also need to get the caravan stable issues sorted out down here. And the idea is to have a caravan that's going to be hauling from here all the way up to here. So let's see, where can we put another caravan? Oh, that lines up. That's quite handy, that one. I don't have to turn it around. So if I put that about there. I mean, where's the halfway point? About there, say. Although I haven't said that, it's going to be coming out all the way to there. So, yeah, I'd say if we put it about there, that's about the halfway point. Except for the barns, I really should be. I don't need to be concerned about the fish farms. It's the barns, really. So where's the halfway point between that barn then and that barn? Well, it's between there, isn't it? Then? So that's more the halfway point. It's literally halfway between that barn and that barn. Then. So if I plunk that one down there, that probably makes more sense because they've got to basically haul the fish that's in the bottom barn all the way up to the top barn. Right, so we'll plunk that one down there, and I'll do the same on this side. I will have to turn that around. Well, I haven't said that. What they're going to do, they're just going to focus on these, so it makes more sense to put them at the halfway point between these barns then. Yeah, because their goal is to literally share the fish between that barn and that barn, and that barn and that barn. Which makes me think, really, I should push this embankment further out so that I can get this caravan sandwiched down here. Yeah, so there's quite a bit to do there then. Well, I'll just get on with all this lot. I mean, as I say, it's gonna take a while before they sort out the roads, and they're gonna focus on that. But yeah, it's really those caravans, because once those caravans are up and running, then we can start seriously hauling the fish out to here. But it should mean that by the time we get to the winter, hopefully, we're producing plenty of fish. We're hauling it out to the centre, and then that's making its way all the way up to here, ready for our fish pie bakers. And that's exactly what we saw one person was asking for. So, I'll let the game play on. I'll bring you back once we made some more progress. Well, we're into a new year. Unfortunately, I ran into a lag problem again. I mean, if you haven't seen any of my previous episodes, what's been happening is the game just grinds to a halt. Like, say, this person here. I mean, I could watch them. Doesn't matter what speed I'm running at. I mean, let's see if I put that at ×1. You can see they're just walking along, not a problem. Happy to go on about their daily business. But what's been happening, and it doesn't matter about what season it is, what time of, what speed I run the game at. What will happen is they'll take like one step forward and then nothing. Twiddling my thumbs, and then they'll take another step forward. It's happening just because the game's like, it's like having this sawtooth effect. And it's weird because the graphics card isn't loaded. It's not taking too much load, nor is the actual processor. They're both very, very quiet. There's hardly anything going on, yet the game is running at extremely low, slow speed. Now, the last time I had that problem, it was fixed by taking out two mods. These two here. And it's odd because it's only just come back. I mean, I've upgraded the computer since, and that's why I put these two mods back in again, and I didn't have a problem. So I mean, the game hasn't been upgraded, so I don't know what it is, but something resulted in that problem coming back. So basically what I did is I took both of these mods out and the problem went away. Well, I thought, well, that's frustrating. I mean, I really like these two mods. I want these two mods in my gameplay. They make a big, big difference. They're extremely useful. So what I did was I took that mod out, left that one in, reloaded the game. Nope, didn't make a difference. So I thought, okay, well, I'll put that one back, and then I took that one out and reloaded the game. Nope, still didn't make a difference. So I couldn't pinpoint it to either of them as the cause. It seemed to be that both of them were causing the problem. So what I then did is I had a bit of look at the information left by like the mod authors, for instance. I couldn't find anything about that one, but at least that one, it does mention that there's certain types of mods it doesn't like, it doesn't get on with. I don't think it's any of these I'm running, to be honest, but having said that, what I did is I then put this one right to the top of the tree, and then I've put this one just below it, reloaded the game, and within a few seconds the problem went away. So yeah, I'm kind of scratching my head because I haven't been twiddling around with any of these mods since, but for whatever reason the problem came back, and then repositioning those two mods fixed it, or taking them out fixed it. But at least it means we're back to a running game, which is good. I mean, that's exactly what we need. Now, over here, I mean, it is a bit early in the spring. Winter finished very, very early. I mean, I've let it play on a bit because just so we can get the light levels back up again. But it means we didn't produce as much fish as we could, probably have compared to like last season. But having said that, we did get this whole area finished off. We've now got another 16 fish farms. They've been running throughout the winter as well, and we've produced tons of fish. The only trouble is we haven't been getting it out into the centre, even though I brought this extra caravan in. I mean, I took that one away, brought that one in, added this one in as extra. Still not getting enough fish out, and the problem is on this right hand side. These two on the left, they're doing absolutely fine. They're doing their job, not a problem. But this one hasn't been getting enough fish up to the top barn, which means they haven't been able to get enough fish to get out into the centre barns. And it's basically the same problem as I had over here, where I was trying to balance food between 4 barns with just one caravan stable. It just doesn't work, and I totally forgot. The plan was I was trying to get all the different types of food down to this barn, so anybody living down here wouldn't have as far to go to get food. But the trouble is, it just doesn't work. So what I've done is I've changed this. Their routes now, what they do is they're not interested in food in general. They're just going to haul fish all the way up to this barn. They'll leave a bit behind for the people to eat, and mainly they're just going to haul all of that fish up to here. So then we should see the fish making into the centre, or then get out to the quadrants and right up to where we make the pies. Then hopefully once that's fixed, we'll be able to get the actual the bakers built and up and running. But yeah, it's still a sticking point, so we'll keep an eye on that, see if that's fixed that problem. I mean, it's quite possible I could put another caravan stable in here that then gives me 2 people, 2 caravans sharing that load. Maybe that would work, but it's a bit of, given that, you know, maybe these people here, for instance, they can go to down to here, they could go to here, they could go up to here. It's not that far to walk, to be honest, I don't think. So we'll see how it plays out, and if I want to tweak it later on, we'll do that. I mean, I might be able to, you know, build like a caravan up here, another caravan up here, get them to focus on that, and then if it works, we take that one away. I mean, we'll see. Early days. Fruit. So yeah, we're okay, I think, with fish. I think hopefully we've solved that, but fruit isn't doing so well. It is quite a low amount of fruit, and that's got me concerned still. A lot of it's been left in the orchards, which is, it's understandable because we're running this mod here, this one here, farming overhaul, and so basically we end up with all this, you know, all these apples left lying around because I've basically pulled all of these gardeners out during the winter time to go and do the fish farming. But it means they end up leaving their produce lying around, so then they've got to come all the way back again once they've been reassigned, and then drag all that to the barn. So yeah, the figures, it's difficult to tell how many fruit we've got, but either way it's got me concerned. I mean, the reason I actually do that is just because the issues I ran into in Village 1, where if I've got people standing around in fields or orchards during the winter time, for instance, the game practically grinds to a halt. I mean, I could probably run it at 1 times speed and it'll run smoothly, but it's very, very slow to get anything done, which is quite frustrating, to be honest. It makes it kind of unplayable. It's not really practical for me. So what I did do is, over in Village 1, I had these farms, and that's all these fish farms, and that's what I did. I literally rotated the farmers around. They would go and work the fields, the orchards, or what have you during the spring through to the fall. Then the winter they would come and do the fish farming, and then they'd go back again and get on with their other job. I did try going back to it at one point because I remember building more fish farms over in Village 1, and I started having people doing this year on year. But then the problem came back again during the winter, so I've kind of scratched that idea. I'm not going to have anybody permanently assigned to here. So it does mean we've got this issue. It's going to be ongoing, but just means I'm going to have to keep an eye on the fruit, because if we come up all the way up to where the bakeries are, there's not a great deal of fruit up here, and that's got me bothered. I mean, nobody's actually complaining, but 31 fruit's not a great deal. Now, fortunately, I know there's a... Yeah, there they are. There's a caravan is bringing some more fruit here. They go through about 4 fruit per pie, I would imagine. So that should keep them going a bit longer. There is quite a bit of fruit down here and over here. Now, one thing I've done is I've taken a route out, or at least I've changed. That route there was originally sharing fruit between these 2 barns, or at least it was sharing food between them, I should say. But I've been looking at the barn, and I can see there's quite a bit of food stockpiling in here, and it's just going to probably get worse. So what I've done is I've changed the route. They're going to pull all of the food out of here and dump it in here, and then the people that live here, they can just go to this barn to get their food. I mean, they'll still be able to get some of the meat from the sheep locally, but they won't have too far to go to get food from that barn. So I'm quite happy to do that. As soon as that route's finished, I think I'll probably just pull it, and I'll probably just set in a rule just that so it just pulls a certain amount of meat out, because that's the only type of food that gets made around here. Yeah, they make flax, so we're okay there. I'm happy with that. So hopefully then we'll start to see more fruit coming up to here. Now the only problem I've got up here, I'd say, is flour. We're really low on flour. Even though we've got 3 mills, I'm not seeing a great deal of flour. I'm going to let it play out a bit longer, just because of the fact that when these ran out of wool, I immediately started building that pasture there. The trouble is, we almost got it finished, by which time the amount of wool we had actually started to increase again. So I'm going to give it a bit longer, see how it goes. But if we have to, I'm going to have to mess up my walls and build another mill there. I'm just surprised because, I mean, we had 4 mills over in Village 1. We had more bakers than this. and 4 mills seem to be too much. But we'll see how long we can get away with just the 3. But yeah, if we have to, we'll bring a 4th in. Now, another thing up here is we reduced the number of chickens. We're down from, I think it was 75 in here. Now we're down to 48. We've still got quite a lot of eggs in stock. I'm just going to wait it out a while just to see how that plays out. If we still produce too many, we can produce a smaller chicken coop down here to replace that one, but it's too early to tell. It's the same with the flax as well over here. We've got a lot of flax, but I don't know whether that level's literally falling because they're not keeping up with demand, or just the fact that they hit the peak, so they haven't made enough since. So we'll keep an eye on how we're doing here, because that's 1,000 versus about 670. So at this stage I can't quite tell if I do need to do another resize over there. But yeah, it's a case of, it's not a great deal to do. I mean, I was going to start working on these walls, but because of that mill, it's got me bothered, so I'm going to leave them alone. And I'm just going to keep an eye on things throughout this year. I don't really see anything else to do at this stage, except think of where we go from here and probably the next episode. I mean, I was thinking of, like, you know, terraforming all the way out here to build, you know, this big reservation, if you will, where we can get a load of wild animals to get hides from for the tailors. But the trouble is, we're not producing that many, like, vegetable pies or meat pies. There's hardly any pies getting made over here. It's quite possible that people up here are all scoffing at it. I just don't know, but pretty much I can tell I'm going to have to expand this on a much, much bigger scale. I mean, this is obviously just a test to size it out, but it's nowhere near what we're going to need for all of these people. So what I'm thinking now is, rather than like doing that at village 3, I think what I might do is move the tailors. We've got all this this area down here. I don't see me having to expand the fish farms, so I think I might move the tailors down here. That frees up some room on the left. We'll build our reservation down there, but what I can then do is kind of replicate what we've done over here, over to here. And then we'll have like 4 different bakery quadrants. I'll have one of them doing the fish pies, one of them doing meat, one doing fruit, one doing vegetables. Each has got its own supply. I mean, I know early on I was thinking about having like one big central set area for like mills, and I might actually go back to that. I might end up hauling these like mills up in here into the centre again now that I think about it. And then these are just the bakeries themselves and whatever extra things they need, like, you know, chicken coops or potato fields. But then the centre point is where we have all the flour made. So it would mean moving all of these people down to there, moving the mills up to here, building more bakeries down here, up here and up here. Replicating some of that, because we'll probably need more taverns as well. I mean, these people really do like a drink every now and again. But yeah, it's given me quite a lot to think about, actually. But that's all for the next episode. So I do hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If so, then do please leave a like, because that'll help me out a great deal. Google's algorithms pick up on likes, and if they think people like a video, they think, oh, you know, maybe other people might like to watch this video. So it does really help me, you know, any likes that you leave. I really do appreciate them. And if you're new to the channel, want to see more content like this, then yes, do please subscribe. Just remember to click the little bell icon, because then you get notifications when new content gets sent out. If you've got any comments, any suggestions, want to leave any feedback at all, please post that in the comment section below. Till the next episode, thanks very much for watching. Bye!